Hello, you're welcome to today's live show. You're welcome to today's live show. How are we doing today? How's your day been? My day has been good. Thank God it's Friday. We get Saturday, Sunday off. So how are we doing? How are we doing? How was your week? Were you able to accomplish the goals for this week? I think I did accomplish some of mine, not everything, but I'm grateful to God for the little that I was able to accomplish. Yes. So as usual, we're going to be looking at the stock market today, and we're going to be looking at questions and answers. Question and answers about the stock market is what we're going to be doing today. Question and answers. So if you have questions, you can come up and ask your questions, or you can just send it in the chat. Questions and answers about finances and stock market. Do I have some questions here that I'll be looking at? I'm just trying to pull up my mail. Yeah, my questions here. I'm just trying to pull up my mail so I'm able to see the questions. Good evening. If you're just joining us, today we are looking at questions and answers about finances, about the stock market. You're welcome in. Okay. Yeah, my questions. I'm safe, secure in your life. I see myself every morning. You're welcome in. Good evening. So yeah, like I said, we're just going to be looking at question and answers today. If you have questions, please come on up. You can come up and ask your questions. Today is Friday, and it's thank God it's Friday, so nothing serious, right? Because we have Saturday and Sunday to ourselves to relax. So while I wait for people to send in their questions, I'll just be answering the questions I have or that I already have sent to my DM. So that's what I'll be looking at. But like I said, if you have questions, you can either put it in the chat or you can come up to ask your questions. Okay. But before we go into question and answers, I want us to talk about money relationship. Like, what type of relationship do you currently have with your money today? If they ask you, if I should ask you today that what relationship do you have with your money, what will be your answer? Right? What will be your answer as per the relationship you have with your money? Is it a good relationship? Is it a bad relationship that you have with your money? Or you don't even have any relationship with your money at all? And I'm going to explain what I mean by is it a bad relationship? Is it a good relationship? Right? So when you say you have a friend, oh, I have this friend is my best friend. I know everything about this, my best friend, right? And maybe 6 months, you don't check on this friend. Will you still be confident? Thank you so much for the likes, 340. Will you still be confident to call that person your friend? Right? Will you still be confident to call that person your friend? I have a best friend, but I've not checked on my best friend for 6 months. I've not even called my best friend to say, how are you doing today in 6 months, right? Will I still be confident to say that person is my best friend? If the answer is no, then why don't you have a relationship with your money? Right? Why don't you have a relationship with your money? Your money is supposed to be your best friend because you work for that money to come into your hands, right? And a lot of people don't even know where that money goes. They just know, oh, today is payday. I've gotten $2,000 in paycheck. And before you know it, the $2,000 has disappeared from their account. And when you tell them that, oh, how did you actually spend the $2,000 you just got a few days ago? They cannot really account for it. They cannot really account for it. I've got this person. They cannot really account for it. When you ask, oh, how did you spend the $2,000 that came into your account a few days ago? They cannot really account for it. If you ask them, when last did you even open your bank account to check to see what, as in what your money is being spent on, most of the people cannot really tell. So why is this all coming in? Most of them cannot really tell what they spend their money on. You've not checked on your money. You don't know what you're spending your money on. You've so much automate all your bills that you just know that, oh, I earned $2,000. The $2,000 is gone. You've not checked your credit card statement to see what is in on my credit card statement. What are the charges on my credit card balance, right? You're earning salary. You just know that you earn and it disappears. You don't even have a relationship with your money. I'm telling you today, the best way to make your money work for you is to start with you having a relationship with your money. And how do you have a relationship with your money? The first thing is you want to know where your money is going. Or let me say, the first thing is you want to know all your sources of income. What are my sources of income? Is it one? Is it two? Is it three? Is it seven? What are my sources of income? Now that you know your sources of income, you want to know, how are you spending this money? This $1,000 that I earn every week, how am I spending it? Because money that you do not give an assignment, that you do not give a purpose to, the money will give purpose to itself and it will give an assignment to itself. So you earn $1,000, you've not given that $1,000 any job to do. You've not told the $1,000, this $1,000, I'm going to pay my bill 500. I'm going to put $200 in a savings account. I'm going to put, thank you for joining official DCJ1, right? You've not given the money a purpose. The money will look for a purpose for itself. And let me tell you how it will look for a purpose for itself. You will just see that you go to store one day and you will see that they are doing discount sales. And you just say, oh, let me just buy. Even though you don't actually need that thing. Even though you don't actually need that thing. And that is how the money will give itself a purpose. So today, what I want you to do is try and build a relationship with your money. Try and build a relationship with your money. Try and build a relationship with your money. Know the amount you're earning. Know the amount you're earning. Know what you're spending them on. Know what you're spending them on. I'm just laughing at the comments. Right? Thank you, official DJC. So know what you're spending your money on. And again, a lot of us have, I don't know the kind of money background we have. A lot of people have this negative thing about money. You know, the background you have with money, when you were growing up, what were the things you had about money? Oh, money is so difficult to get. That may be what you had about money. Oh, we don't even discuss money in my house. That is what you add about money, and that is what you've taken to your adulthood. You might not know that it's actually affecting you until you sit down and say, okay, what are the early foundations? What are the early money foundation I have? What are the early money foundation I have? Oh, money is so difficult to get. And in your subconsciousness, you're still thinking that money is so difficult to get. And I tell you, money is the easiest thing to make. Money is the easiest thing to make. Money is the easiest thing to make. Yes, official DJs says, that mentality is real. Oh, that is the truth. People think money is so difficult to get, but money is actually the easiest thing to make if you have a good strategy and you have a positive mindset. If you have a good strategy and you have a positive mindset, and with the advent of technology, it's even become more easier to make money. It becomes more easier to make money. So in your money mindset today, in the money mindset session that we're doing today, I want you to write what are the 3 negative things I knew when I was growing up with money. What are the 3 things that I grew up with? It's possible that it's positive, right? What are the 3 things that I grew up with? Knowing money. Money is difficult to get. You must do 9 to 5 before you earn. You must work for somebody before you earn. If you do this, just write it. What are the 3 things you grew up knowing about money? And once you've written it, now I want you to rewrite the negative ones. If you say money is difficult to make, that's what you knew before. Now rewrite it to money is easy to make. Money is easy to make. Hey, okay. Oh. All I know is money is easy to make. LOSAS. Right? So rewrite it to the positive one and work towards that positive one. If it means you get learning a skill, please do. 2026 is still very young. We're just in February. Got some dollars from tax refund. Oh, you've done your taxes already? I've not done my own. Really? My taxes, I don't do my taxes till like March. Want to buy shares? Oh, wow. Let me clap for you. That's a good one. That's a good one. You want to buy shares with that, with the refund you got? Yes. So have you opened your World Simple, or I want to believe you're in Canada. I don't even know if you're in Canada anymore. So have you opened your brokerage account? Do you know the type of shares you want to buy into your brokerage account? So I'm just trying to pull up my questions here. Oh, you're in the US. Oh, I see. You're in USA. That means you're going to be using Robinhood or Fidelity. I must make money on this woman's page. Yes, so you don't have a choice. You can't be coming to my page and not make money now. Make money. That is it. We're here to make money. That's official DCJ. Yeah. So SAS, you're going to be using Fidelity or Robinhood. So you want to download the app and you want to open your Roth IRA. And I would say if you have not started investing before, Charles Schwab. Okay, Charles Schwab is good as well. Charles Schwab is good as well. So if you've not started investing before, I would advise you start with an ETF. If you've started investing before, then you already know the way the market works. I don't have a choice. That's why I'm here. I'll answer you now. Okay, so let's look at some questions. So I have a question that came in from some people. What do you advise I buy? SAS. If you've been coming from on my page, you will know that I don't advise people to buy online, right? But like I said, I don't advise people to buy online, as in I don't like recommend stocks for people to buy. And the reason being that I don't know your risk tolerance. And I used to say that if you're a high risk person and I give you a low or a medium risk stock to buy, that means I'm doing you this service, right? And if you're a low risk person, I give you a high risk stock to buy, you are also I'm also doing you a disservice. So that's why I don't really advise people to buy, as I don't really make any recommendation online. But if you're a beginner and you know you're a beginner, you don't want to pay for the classes, you can start with S&P 500. Not an advice, just education. I'm using this to teach now. S&P 500 has 500 stocks in that basket. But depending on your refund, you don't want to put all your money in one stock at the same time, right? You can split it to say, okay, maybe you want to do 60% or 50% in ETF, 30% in REITs. REITs will give you income, dividends, right? While 20% you can put it in your emergency fund or your savings, i.e. savings account. So you can split it. Thank you so much for the likes, right? You can split it 50%. I want to put it in ETF. S&P 500 is good for beginners. At least it's low risk, it's diversified. Like I said, it's for educational purpose, not like an advice, right? Then you want to put in REIT as well. REIT will diversify your portfolio and it will give you income at the same time, right? Then you can now put maybe 20% into savings and investments. Oh, sorry, savings into savings like your high yield savings account in case of an emergency fund. If you've not fully built your emergency fund, you can put 20% there. But if you fully built your emergency fund and you want to put the 100% in the market, you can do 70% ETF and 30% REITs so that you're able to don't put everything. Don't just say, I've gotten this refund, I want to put everything into ETF. Split it, put some in ETF, put some in. Or you can even say you want to buy maybe one or two individual stocks. If you currently use maybe there's something that you know you use very well and you know is a good company, you can buy maybe 20% in that individual stock. That's the much I can say. I hope it helps anyway. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be looking at question and answers today. And question and answer we're looking at today is as regards finances. How can I make money? How can I turn my skills into money? If you have questions, I'm here to answer. Even if I'm not able to answer, we have people here that can answer your questions as well. What individual stocks do you think? So the thing is, when you were looking at individual stocks, right? So this is for my paid class, but I will give it out today. So when you're looking at individual stock, how do you know if as an individual stock is good? I'll give you just one secret. Look at what does everybody use. Okay, start from yourself. How does my day go? My day starts with I check in my email. I use Google email. I go to Facebook. I use Google all the time. I use ChatGPT. I watch YouTube. I do my exercise and the likes, right? So write 10 things. If I were to go with one from these three you listed, I will go with Apple. And the reason I will go with Apple is because I believe Apple right now is still standing strong more than the other two, which is Tesla and Nvidia. Tesla is it fluctuates too much. That's for me, personal, right? Personal opinion, not advice, financial advice. In Spain, what brokerage do I open like Bamboo? In Spain, I think Spain is Europe, right? Try trading 212. If trading 212 is not going, you can use interactive brokers. Or I think there's this other one. I can't remember the name now. But try trading 212, official DCJ. Yeah, sirs, thank you. So, like I said, personally for me, I will go with Apple based on the list you just gave me. That's for me personally. Okay, so as I was saying, today we're just going to be doing question and answer, and we're asking questions about finance. So what does finance mean? How do I make money? How do I manage my money? How do I turn my skills into money making machine and the likes, right? And if you want to ask questions about the stock market, you can ask questions about the stock market as well. So like you see, I've been answering questions about the stock market. So I'm going to read the first question I have here, and it says, so if you have your question, you can either request to come up or you can drop your question in the chat. So the first question says, I have about $2,000 saved right now, and I am not sure if that is enough. How much should I have in savings before I start investing? So this question is saying, I have about $2,000 saved right now. I am not sure if it's enough. How much should I have in savings before I start investing? Right? I have, okay, I have another question. So I'm going to come back to that question. Official DJC says, I have 50 euro. How can I grow it monthly? Sorry about the value. See, in short, let me clap for you first. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking for you. You have 50 euro. You are richer than most people. 50 euro, you are richer than most people. If you can put aside 50 euro every month, you're richer than most people. So don't, I tell you that even if it's $2, start with it, right? But as you start, don't sit on it. Try and now do what? Grow it. So now that you have 50 euro, what you're going to do is you can say that 50 euro, that is 50 euro, right? And you want to use it for investing. You can say, I want to put $30 or $35 into ETF. ETF is exchange traded fund, is a basket of funds, right? And I keep saying ETF is diversified, is low risk, right? Put it in ETF. Then you have $15 left. That $15, put it in REITs, real estate investment trust. Why REITs? REITs will give you good dividends. They will give you dividends, right? And it will help you to diversify your portfolio more. So $35 in ETF, $15 in REITs, right? Now, what you will now do is you're going to automate your investment, that every month, or maybe bi-weekly, or okay, say monthly, every month, $50 goes from your account into your investment account, and it's split that way. 35 ETF, and it also depends. Let me not say 35 ETF, it depends. What do you want to get from the market? Do you want to get income, more of income, or do you want to get more of growth? Because what I just gave you now, you see why it's not really good to say do this, because I don't know what you want from the market, right? What I just gave you now is more of growth than income. So if you're looking for income, more of income, then you want to put your REITs to be higher, right? Your REITs to be higher. The percentage for your REIT to be higher and the percentage for your ETF to be lower, because you're looking for more of income. Income in this sense is dividends. Dividends. If you're looking for more of growth, you want your capital to appreciate better than the income you would get, then you do more of ETF, growth ETF, than REIT. Okay? Income, let me not lie. Yes. So if you're doing more of income, then make the dividend stock more in your portfolio. And REIT, like I said, will pay you good dividends, right? Make REIT more in your portfolio. So you might say this $50, maybe 35% or 30%, $30 going to REIT, $20 goes into ETF. Because ETF mostly are more expensive than REIT. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you do 50, 30, 20, right? And you do an automation so that every month as you're getting your money, $30 goes there and 20, and you can always switch your portfolio around. It's always good to even rebalance your portfolio. At some point, you want to know, what is my portfolio doing and how do I rebalance it? So I know that I'm still on the right track. Okay, so that is how you're going to start investing. Like I said, if you have $50 to put aside every month, don't be ashamed about it. I started with $50 as well. And thank God I started. Okay. Yes, I hope I answered your question. So going back to the question, Bruce say, oh, Bruce, good evening. Bruce says, ZEB is ETF up 42% in last year and nice dividends. Up over 100% in the last 5 years. Yes. Yes. So ZEB is an ETF up by 42% last year, and in the last 5 years, 100%. It has only Canadian bank stocks. Only Canadian bank stocks. So yes, I kind of love that, because when you look at it, Canadian banks are doing well. That is simple truth. Canadian banks are doing well. There is no ETF you open that Canadian banks will not be like top 10. You will see like 3 or 4 Canadian banks in top 10, right? So thank you for the likes. So if you want to do that, now know that that ETF, the composition is mainly Canadian banks, right? It's mainly Canadian banks. Now, because it's mainly one sector, your portfolio is not really, really diversified. So if you want to buy another ETF, that is how you diversify your portfolio. If you want to buy another ETF, you want to look for an ETF that is not so heavy in banks, in Canadian banks, so that you're able to diversify. Why are we diversifying? In case the financial sector is not working, other sectors that are in all other of our ETFs are working, right? Yeah, I hope we understand. Bruce, thank you for the contribution. I told you, don't be shy. Start with any amount you have. I have $1, $2, $3. The most important thing is to start. And once you start, you would see that the momentum would come and you will keep building it. And before you know it, you will start putting $100. Before you know it, you put 200. Before you know it, you get one extra money. Okay, so SAS now just said, I just filed my tax and I got tax refund, right? I got tax refund. And what is the first thing that came to SAS mind? I want to invest, right? I want to invest. That's the first thing that came to SAS mind. So as you're already in it, you just see that you just keep building and it becomes a sweet pot. When you now see that you're even making money, imagine that you put $1,000 in ZEB and at the end of the year you made 42%. That's $420. What? $420 on the $1,000 investment? Are you kidding me? So you want to put more money in the market. Okay. So if we have more questions, we can just send in the question in the chat, or you can request to come up and ask your questions. Okay. So going back to the question we had before, I have $2,000. I'm not sure if it's enough. And how much should I have in my savings before I start investing? Yes, Bruce has shared his story. So let's see what Bruce said again. Bruce said, I worked at a job making under $50,000 for 40 years. I just invested every chance. Now I'm a millionaire. Bruce shared his story with us, I think about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. I know it was this year. And Bruce says that he's now worth about $1 million. He earns under $50,000. He has a family. But today is worth more than $1 million. So it tells you that there is no amount you earn that you can't invest from. So he says, just start. So for you, official DJC, Bruce is telling you, just start and have patience. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love that compliment, official DJC. Thank you. I hope the followers grows, and I hope that I'm able to impact life. That's the most important thing. The most important thing to me is that I'm able to impact life. I'm able to bring the knowledge to our community, like open the eyes of our community on what they need to do. Yes, Bruce, compounding interest works. So they say it's the eighth wonder, right? Eighth wonder. Compounding, before you know it. Like I used to say, your money can work hard. It can work very hard, very, very hard, very, very, very hard, right? It all depends on what you want it to do. If you want it to work, if you can even decide to sleep, just put it in your savings account, it will sleep, right? The money will just be enjoying the sleep. Yes, official DJC says, Bruce, thank you. Official DJC is actually on Instagram, so you might not be seeing his comment. Okay, so let's go back to that question. I have $2,000. I don't know if it's enough. How much should I save before I start investing? So when you want to start investing, even if you've not built, what are you saving for? You're saving like for your emergency fund, right? You're saving your emergency fund. So I want to believe, how do you know? Let's start from, how do you know the amount for your emergency fund? Because a lot of people say, oh, go and save emergency fund, go and save emergency fund. And I'll be a millionaire this year. I'm coming, Bruce. So how do you know the amount you should save for your emergency fund? Your emergency fund is not your monthly income. So let's say you earn $2,000 every month, right? You earn $2,000 every month. That is your income. Now, what you want to do is for you to know the emergency fund you need. You want to look for all your needs, not your wants. Your needs. I need a roof over my head. My rent is $200. I need to eat. My groceries and feeding is $200, right? I need to pay for my phone bill, my hydro bill. That is $200 as well. You put it down. Those are your needs. You want to write your needs out. Bills that you must pick every month. Those are your needs. I don't need to buy clothes every month. I don't need to eat out every month. Those are my wants. Those are my wants, right? Now, when you've written down all your needs, fix a price to those needs, because most times your needs are always fixed. Most times your needs have a fixed price. So put a price to those needs. Now that you know the needs, maybe out of the $2,000 you're earning, your needs is only $1,000, right? The other things is your wants. I want to go out. I want to do those are your wants. So now that you know your needs, my need is $1,000. That $1,000, you want to say, okay, I want to multiply it by either 3 months or 6 months. So if I say I want to save 6 months emergency fund, I am going to take my needs, just the value of my needs, multiply by 6 months. Then it gives me, in this case, it gives me $6,000. It means what I'm looking to save is $6,000, right? If I say I want to save just 3 months emergency fund, my $1,000 multiplied by 3, that is what? $3,000. That is my emergency. That is what I want to save aside. Just in case if life happens, I want to be able to fall back to it. Okay. Now that I know that okay, I'm just looking for $3,000. I'll now go back to that my income. My $2,000 income, right? I can now say, okay, from my $2,000 income, 50% is for my wants, right? My needs. 30% is for my wants, depending, just split it your own way. I'm just using the most common one. 30% is for my wants, and the 20% is for my savings and investing. Now, I want to save $3,000, right? And 20% of my 2,000 is what? $200. I will now say, this $200 of this 20%, I am going to put 80% in my savings account because I want to be able to achieve that emergency fund on time. Put 80% in my emergency fund, or maybe 70% in my emergency fund. The remaining 30%, I put it towards investing. Remember, your emergency funds does not go into the stock market. Emergency fund is what I can do. Give me my money, and my money will enter my hand, right? So it's not advisable for you to put it in the stock market. Put it in mutual funds. Put it in GIC. You can liquidate at any time. Put it in high yield savings account. You can liquidate at any time. You can now say, from this 20% that is my savings and investment, I'm going to do 70% into my savings, while I do 30% into my investment. That means you're achieving all your goals, right? You're achieving all your goals. You're not waiting till you have everything saved before you start investing, before you start making your money work for you, right? You're not waiting till you have everything saved. Okay, now my emergency fund is $10,000. I've put my $10,000 in my high yield savings account. Now it's time to start savings. No. From that money that you've set aside, that this is my savings and savings and investments, put a portion in your savings, put a portion in your investments. Let your money start working for you. I even go further to tell people, when I sit on one-on-one with you, if your emergency fund, there are some people that have emergency fund that is maybe worth $10,000, $20,000. Why do you want to put $20,000 in a high yield savings account? You can go further to say, okay, my emergency fund is $20,000, right? From this $20,000, I can say 50% would stay in high yield savings account. while 50% would go into the stock market. But I'm going to buy low risk stocks. I'm going to buy low risk stocks that I know the fluctuation is not much, right? And I put 50% there. It means if emergency comes, while I'm taking the $10,000 in this my high yield savings account, I'm looking at the markets to see when is the best time to sell if I need more than $10,000, right? If I need more than $10,000, I'm looking at when is the best time to sell. So for this question now that says I have $2,000, should I don't know if it's enough. Like I said, what you do is go back and check what is my want every month. How much is my need every month? Calculate it and multiply. Do you want to do 3 months? Do you want to do 6 months? It is advisable to do 6 months, right? But before you get there, you can say, let me start with 3 months, right? Now, once you have that, you will know if it's enough or not. Because I can't know if it's enough. You will know if it's enough or not. But even if it's not yet enough, don't just say, I want to put everything in a savings account. In that money that you set aside, that this is my portion for savings and investment, split it. A chunk of it can go into your savings towards your emergency fund for you to be able to achieve your dream on time, while a bit of it will go into the investment account so that you can start building that momentum, you can start learning it. I hope I was able to answer this question though. Yeah, if you have questions, you can leave it in the chat or you can come up to ask your questions. Official DJC say knowledge is key. Of course, knowledge is key. Okay. And okay, Bruce says, and learn to say, do I want it or need it? We want a lot of things we don't need and it gets stored away. I tell you, let me tell you my. So every December, thank you so much, Bruce, for that contribution. Every December, I used to say, I want to buy something for myself. And I kind of love kitchen items. So, in December, there's always sales, Boxing Day sales, and the likes. Sunshine Glory, you're welcoming, right? And there are a lot of sales up in December's, right? So every December, I now noticed that, that I have 3 different ovens. 3 different ovens. I have the one that comes with the regular stove in the kitchen. I have one mini one. I have another one that I just use for Thanksgiving chicken. Just because I just tell myself, oh, this December, what am I going to buy and put in my kitchen, right? It was last December, I was telling myself, okay, what do I want to buy and put in my kitchen this December? And I checked. I saw that the one that I used for that Thanksgiving chicken, I think I bought it about 2 years ago. I've only used it twice or 3 times. During Thanksgiving and during December, when we're doing Christmas, right? That's the only 2 times I've used it. And I can't remember the amount I bought it anyway. But what Bruce just said, you need to ask yourself. And I told myself, that's December, I didn't buy anything because I just noticed that I now have duplicates of things because I'm always saying, oh, let me buy this. This is December. Let me just add one kitchen equipment. Let me just add one kitchen equipment. And I'm not using them. I hardly use the oven in my stove because I have a mini one that can easily grill what I want, right? Can easily grill what I want. So ask yourself, do I really need it? Do I really? If you really need it, and I say there's a 24 hours rule delay, there's a 48 hours rule delay, where you can tell yourself, okay, let me just give myself 48 hours. 48 hours, right? And if I still need it after 48 hours, it means I need it. And the truth is, it happens to everybody. So I'm going to give you another story. Last week, there was something that I wanted to subscribe to. And as I was just on the kitchen desk, my children were getting ready to go to school. I was just telling my son that, and I would have loved to have this thing. And I think 2 days before that, good day, Apple G. Okay, just a minute. I think 2 days before that, they saw me doing a content where I said, do the 72 hours delay rule. And when I was just telling him, I think I would need this thing. You know what he told me? Because I was already carried away. I was already bringing out my credit card, honestly, to pay, to subscribe for that thing. And my son just told me, he said, Mommy, wait 72 hours. If you still need it, then you can buy it. It tells you that when you have people that hold you accountable as well. Because after 24 hours, I just discovered that what do I even really need this one? I already have an alternative that I can still be using. But just because they said, oh, it's 70% off right now, you can get it, you don't need to pay any other money after this. I just thought, oh, it's cheap, why not buy it now? Right? But when he just told me, wait for 72 hours, but he just did a video that people should wait for 72 hours. Wait for 72 hours. If you still need it, you will buy it. And just after 24 hours, I just told myself, do I really need this thing? So if we can always practice that rule, it will help us a lot in our expenses. Official DJC, Ma, when did you eat your first 1 million in Naira? In Naira. My salary before I left Nigeria was close to 1 million. Aside from the other things before I left Nigeria. So if you're saying Naira, I can't remember the year because my salary, even when I started working in 2007, because I worked in the bank all through my life, I think when I started working in 2007, I was earning about 100K. That was what I used. That was my first pay. So that's it. So I can't say this is the year. Apple G. It says, what kind of account would you recommend for emergency fund? Emergency fund, use our youth savings account. Our youth savings account. So you're able to access it. So you're able to access it at any point in time, right? Use our youth savings account. And like I said, you don't need to put everything. If you know your emergency fund is very huge, like you have a lot of fund in emergency fund, you can put a bit in stocks. But like I said, look for low risk stocks that do not fluctuate as much. Okay, I hope I answered your question. No need to apologize. So I have another question here. It says, every time I think about investing, I get scared of losing money. How do I get over this fear? That question is tickle. Every time I think about investing, I get scared about losing money. How do I get over this fear? It's mindset. It's mindset. Honestly, once you think about investing and you're thinking about losing money, the way you can get over it is look at the flip side. If I don't invest and I put my money in savings account, I'm also losing money. Okay, so official agency says you no go make money if you are scared, and that's the absolutely true truth. You can't make money if you're scared, right? But on the other hand, look at it that if I'm not investing, I'm putting my money in savings account, right? Putting all my money in savings account, I'm also losing money. Thank you so much for the likes. Marabex, right? I hope I'm right. Right? You're also losing money. And how are you losing money when you put your money in savings account? You're losing your money to inflation. You're losing your money to inflation. Right? So why not put it in the market and let the money grow? Why not put it in the market and let the money grow? Don't just say I'm losing money. The truth is, look at it these two ways. You're losing money either way, right? But there's tendency, automatically, you know you are losing money in savings account because inflation rate will always be higher than the rate savings account will give you, right? But you can put your money in the market and it will make money for you. And over time, if you keep that money in the market, it will make money. And I keep saying, don't be scared. Just go and look for the stocks and look at the graph. Look at the 1 year graph. Look at the 5 years graph. Look at the 10 years graph. Have there been loss in the last 10 years? Has it consistently, if a company has been making loss for 10 years, I'm not sure the company will still be existing. Like every year, there's loss. But it's when you're looking for money, you want to double your money today, then you will lose money. But if you buy it, you hold it. That money you're keeping in your savings account. Some people have money they've been keeping in their savings account for 3 years. But that same money, if they've put it in the market, 3 years, it would have grown if you buy good stocks. So don't be scared. Look at it on the other way around. Bruce says, never get comfortable with car insurance company. Every year it goes up, every 3 to 5 years around. Then invest the car insurance savings you got. Avi. So never get comfortable with car insurance company. Every year it goes up. That's the simple truth. The truth is, a lot of us, we are so comfortable with our bills going up every year. We are not scared that, oh, my mortgage is going to increase this year, my car insurance is going to increase this year, or maybe you even have a term life insurance, your term life insurance is expiring this year. We are not scared of our bills increasing, but we are so scared of us making our money to increase. I don't know why. You're not scared that, oh, this bottle of water can tomorrow be, maybe it's 1 cent today, it can be 2 cents. You're comfortable with it increasing, but you're not comfortable with your money increasing. You have to be comfortable with it. You have to be comfortable with it, but know what you're doing. Don't just go into the market because somebody says go. Go because you understand why you're going into the market. And if you go, you have a strategy. If you have a strategy, you make money out of it. I tell you, the wealthy would never put their money where they don't make money. They will never put their money where they don't make money. And if you ask a wealthy man, what are your sources of income? Between number 1 and 4, you will see investing in stock markets. You see investing in the stock market will be between number 1 and 4. So what does that tell you? It tells you that there's money in the stock market. Just that the wealthy will employ a financial advisor. I will pay that financial advisor well. There are some departments in the bank that you can go into. It's only meant for high net worth individuals, right? Only meant for high net worth individuals. They will never tell you all this, that go and invest in the stock market, go and do this. No, they won't tell you. They won't even tell you that you can go and open a brokerage account and invest. They'll just tell you, bring the money, come and put it in the bank. And when you put the money in the bank, they will take that same money, give it out. The bank will take risk with your money that you don't want to take risk with. They will take risk, give it out credit card 21%. Right? They will take risk again, take it to the stock market to make more money. Or do you think they put the money in the vault? They don't put all your money in the vault. Maybe you have $10,000 in your savings account. Maybe they will tell you that from this $10,000, just put maybe 2% or 10% in the vault. The others, they will spread it, use it to take a lot of risk. And they will take 21% on credit card, on your money that they are using to take risk. And they will give you 0.1%. You are using my money to make money. And you cannot even pity me and give me maybe 2%, 3%. Because you don't want to take risk, and they know you don't want to take risk. So if we are guaranteeing your money, then we are the ones taking the risk on your behalf. So we can do anything we like with your money, as long as anytime you call for your money, we'll give it to you. So you can't be scared about the stock market. If you want to make money, you can't be scared about using money. You can't be scared about using your money to make more money. And it's not only in the stock market. Even if you want to invest in businesses, you want to invest in a business. You want to invest in a business. You can't be scared about using your money to make money. There's an adage in Nigeria that says, "Owo la fin wa owo." That is, we use money to look for money. We use money to look for money. Right? You can't just say, I don't have money. If you don't have money, how do you want to get more money? It's not possible. Okay, I am working right now. I don't have money to go to work, to pay transport to my office. So what happens? If I don't go the first, the second, the third day, that means they will sack the person. You go home. So you have to have money to look for more money. Yes, Bruce says banks are not your friend. I tell you. Banks are never your friends. They have the brick and mortar. Fine. You can go there. Very beautiful. I worked in the bank, so I know what I'm saying. Banks are not your friends. They are not your friends. They will tell you mutual fund. Okay, 2%, 3%. You're comfortable. GIC. Oh, my money is guaranteed. You are paying for the guarantee. You're paying for the guarantee. and they will use your money to make more money. User, you said, what's my name? My name is Sifawu. My name is Sifawu. Official DJC says, if the lion is scared, it won't eat. Of course, like, it won't eat now. You just stay there and just be looking. There's nothing in life that is not risky. Let's be serious. There's nothing in life that does not have an element of risk added to it. There's nothing. But we take the risk with the hope that the risk is going to worth the while, right? It's going to come out very well. The results will be favorable. That is why you take the risk. And like I said, if you know what you're doing, you will do well. If you know what you're doing, you will do well. Okay. So let's look at another question. This question says, this question is so funny. It's related to almost what we just discussed. It says, my bills keeps going up and it feels hard to stay consistent. How do I keep investing when life gets expensive? How do you keep investing when life gets expensive? How do you keep investing when life gets expensive? With the way bills are going up right now, how do you keep up with your investment? That's what the person is asking. The truth is, if you want to keep investing, you can't just stay with just that your income. So if your income was $2,000 last year and all your expenses is maybe 1/8, so you can comfortably bring out $200 every month to invest. But now your income is still $2,000, but your expenses has increased to 1/9 because of the way the things are now expensive. Your expenses has increased to 1/9. Then that means you only have $100 left, right? You only have $100 left, right? That means you only have $100 you can put in the market. So how can you make sure you are not putting $100? Maybe you want to still be putting that $200. Number one way is to increase your income. Increase your income. Increase your income so that even as the life keeps getting expensive, you can still continue to invest. Number two is reduce your expenses. But how low can you reduce your expenses to? Will you say you don't want roof over your head again because you want to invest? No. You won't say you don't want roof over your head again because you don't want to invest. You won't say you won't drive a car again because you want to invest, right? You won't say, okay, because I want to invest, I'm not going to eat out in 2026. I'm not going to eat out at all in 2026. I'm going to cancel all my subscription. All those are even peanuts. They are peanuts. Do you know what takes chunk of our income? Maybe your mortgage, your rent, your car insurance, your car repayment loan, your student loan. Student loan might not even take much. If you're, well, it depends anyway. Maybe let me just add student loan, maybe insurance, maybe life insurance and the likes. Those are the things that take a chunk of our money. So if you want to keep investing and expenses are increasing, you can either increase your income or reduce a bit of your expenses. But like I said, it will get to a point that you can no longer reduce your expenses. So the best option is to increase your income. Best option is to increase your income. And there are a lot of ways that you can use to increase your income now that does not require you going to take another 8 to 5 job. So it does not require you to now start, instead of doing 8 to 5, you're not doing you're not doing 16 hours. No. There are a lot of ways. There are skills you can learn by the side that may be bringing that $200, that $300 to you every month. And you can now put that in the market. That's just my own school of thought. Bruce says women have to think also that they outlive men and survivor pension is 400. Truth is, a lot of people think, thank you so much, Bruce, for that contribution. A lot of people want to rely so much on pension, and a lot of people will be disappointed. A lot of people will be disappointed. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday. She stays in UK, and she was telling me she sees a lot of seniors go back to work. I said, do you think those seniors, they like to go back to work? They don't like to go back to work. But the money they are getting from their pension is not enough. It's not enough to cover basic needs. So what will they do? They'll go back to work to do maybe a 3-hour shift, a 4-hour shift, just to make up for it. There's nobody, even me, that I'm not yet a senior. If I can just sit down and not work, there's nobody that wants to work. Most of you are now a senior, you're not going back to work. And you're not just going there to volunteer. You know, there's a difference between, oh, I want to go out and mix with people. I volunteer for 1 hour a day. I volunteer for 2 hours a day. That is you volunteering, right? You're giving back to your society. But when you go back to actually work for money at your old age, it means what you're getting is not enough. And a lot of people are really depending, they are hoping that they are going to spend their pension. And a lot of people will be disappointed. So if you don't want to be disappointed, start now, putting something aside. That's the only way you will not be disappointed when you get to that age. That's the only way you will not be disappointed when you get to that age. Okay, so let's look at another question. So Bruce said, I have a friend that lives in a condo with 5 women. Seniors are working because now widows can't afford it. That's why I mentioned it. Yeah, thank you so much. We see a lot of seniors go back to work. That's the simple truth. You see a lot of them, and like I said, they are not going there to volunteer. You know, when you go there to volunteer, you're giving back to the community, right? That's quite different. But when you're actually going back to work because you want to get the pay, it now becomes the fact that what you currently have cannot sustain you. So you need additional income. And it's painful that after working for 40 years, after working for 45 years, you can't comfortably retire and stay at home and say, I don't want to work for pay. I just want to work because I want to volunteer and give back to the society. So painful. And you can't even do, like, you can't travel, you can't go to places, you can't even eat. And I was even saying, even when you look at care homes, care home has grades. Care home has grades. There are some care homes that are general for everybody, right? And there are some that are upgraded. It now depends on how much do you have, because they will not be paying the same thing. Because a lot of people say, oh, I'll get a care home, I'll get a care home. Care home has grades. There are some that is for everybody come in. And there are some that you would see that this one is clearly for the wealthy people. The wealthy people. So why will you work all this while and you have to go back to work at old age? It's not something that anybody should pray for. And prayer cannot do it alone. You have to put the action. And what action are you going to put it? Is for you to start planning for that future today. Because the tomorrow, you're going to start planning for tomorrow today. If you have government pension and no company pension, money won't pay the bills to invest to build a company type pension income through investing. And a lot of us as well. Thank you so much, Bruce, for that contribution. In short, let me clap for you. I've not clapped since. So a lot of people have pension contribution from their company, and they are not utilizing it. They are not utilizing it. I don't know if it's due to lack of knowledge or due to the fact that you don't really understand. When a company says, I would match your pension, I will match your pension. If a company tells you, I will match your pension, let me explain it to you. I'm working with company A. Company A says, if you contribute 4%, I will match it 4%. Some may do, I will do 2%, right? Okay, they are giving me puzzle. Okay, so some will say, I will match it by 4%. And this is an extra benefit to you. All you need to do is to put your own 4% aside. The company will put 4%, add 4% to it. What does that tell you? It tells you 8% goes into your pension every month, right? Every paycheck, 8% goes into your pension. Yours is only 4%. The company is 4%. So let me explain it to you. So let's say in a year, or let's say monthly, you earn $1,000. Monthly, you earn $1,000, right? From your $1,000, 4% would go to your pension, which is $40, right? $40, that's from your own $1,000. The company will now give you extra for $40 to make it $80 going into your pension every month. Now, at the end of the year, do you know how much you would have contributed? Because when you don't utilize it, that $40 that the company would have given to you, they will not give you in any other place. You lost it. You lost the $40 that the company would have given to you, that match that they would have given to you. You lost it. It means me that I'm utilizing the company's pension and getting that match, even though we earn the same salary, we earn the same wage, we're not earning the same because company gives me extra from into my pension. And that is one way to build. That is one way to build. So if you're on this life today, because most companies, they might not tell you, they will not emphasize it. The truth is, no company wants to give you extra money. That's the simple truth. Just imagine that you have a job, right? You have a company right now. Do you want to pay your workers like very well? No. If you can see ways that you will not pay them very well, yes, that's what you want to do because you want to keep more money to yourself. That is the same thing with companies, right? So go and check your benefits. If you've not been using it, go and check your benefits. Do I have company contribution? If you have and you've not started utilizing it, please go and fill the form. As long as you've passed your probation stage, you qualify for it. You qualify for it. Go and get it because it's an extra income to you when you utilize the company pension. When you utilize the company pension, it's an extra money to you. Now, on the other hand, if you're already utilizing your company pension, because we have a lot of people that are utilizing their company pension right now, but don't know what is inside their portfolio. You don't know if it's GIC they are putting your money in, or they are putting it in mutual fund, because when you were filling the form, they asked you, can you take any risk? You say, no. I want my $1,000 to be $1,000. And they'll say, oh, this person cannot take risk. So let's just put their money in GIC. So you have the right to know what portfolio your money is in. You have the right to speak with your financial advisor. Every company that has a pension fund have a financial advisor. Request to meet with your financial advisor and ask them, what are you putting my money in? What are you investing my money in? I want to know. What return is it making each year? I want to know. It is my money. I worked for it. So I have the right to know where the money is going. I have the right to know the type of stocks you're putting my money in. Don't just say you will leave your money there when you retire. Some people will cry when they retire. That after 40 years, it means I've been contributing $80 every month. After 40 years, I only got like 20% growth on it. When some people have gotten like 2,000, 5,000% growth. When some people have gotten 5,000% growth, because they will ask you the question. You might not understand it then when they were asking you the question, what is your risk profile? Oh, I want my $1,000 to be $1,000. My risk profile is very low. I cannot take risk in the market. It's good. That was when you didn't know. Now you know. Now you know. Ask them, What are you putting my money in? I want to see the portfolio. What is the return? Can I make changes? Because some company will allow you to make changes to the portfolio to say, okay, I want you to put my money in this type of stocks, even though you're managing it, and review it every year, at least once a year. Sit with your money. It's the money you work for. Don't just put it there and let it sleep. Don't just put it there and neglect it. Don't neglect it now. Build a relationship with it. If your money knows that you check on them very well, they will work hard for you. Oh, this stock is not working. It did 2% last year. Take my money off that, or don't, future contribution, don't put it there. Put it in this other stocks. Let it work hard for you. So that's one thing I want us to take out from this. That is one thing I want us to take out from this life today. If you have not started utilizing your company pension, please go and check your benefits. If you have company pension in it, go and start utilizing it. Even if it's just the match that you want. Some company will say, any amount you put, I'll match it by 2%. Put that amount and get that 2%. It is extra income to you. Number two, if you have started, know where your money is going. Where are they putting your money? Know it. It is very important to you because it is your money and you worked very hard for it. Do we understand, or do we have questions as relating to that? Do we understand, or do we have questions? You're welcome on YouTube. So we're just doing question and answers today about finance generally and about investing in the stock market. If you have questions, you can send in your questions, or you can come up to ask your questions. So I think I'll take about one or two more questions before we call it a night. So it says, I have another question. It says, I currently have an 8 and 10-year-old, and I want them to grow up financially smart. How do I teach them about money and investing? Good question. How do I teach them about money and investing? How do you teach your kids about money and investing? Can we answer? How do we really teach our kids about money and investing? Okay, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I teach my kids about money and investing. Number one is I've made them to read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon, because those are the first two books I read about money as well, right? So they understand something called investing. Now, there are certain times that maybe maybe I have an extra job. I can tell them to do it. Okay, like my daughter, most times she's the one that does my videography, whatever. When I'm doing my content, she's the one that stays and say, oh, mommy, position this way is what you want to do, right? So maybe at the end of the month, I can just say, oh, I'm giving you this $20, just like a gift. And from that gift I give her, she knows, because I have taught them, even if it's $1 you have to put something aside. Put something aside, right? Put aside something so that you can put it in investing. Put aside something. It might be, there are days that they want to go, maybe they are going on a free trip in school. I give them money to use, maybe they want to buy lunch and the likes. I give them cash. They know. I don't need to tell them. They know that when they are coming back, they are telling me, okay, mommy, from this amount you gave us, I'm going to be putting this aside for investments. We don't spend all our money. You teach them, you make them understand. Number one, it's easy to make money, right? Number two, the money you make, you don't spend everything. And you're also practicing it. You're practicing it, right? You're not just saying it by mouth. Oh, don't spend everything. And when you get your whole salary, you spend everything. You can't be bold to say don't spend everything. Oh, Mr. Lance, you're welcome, sir. Thank you for the me. Right? You can't be bold to say don't spend everything. Number one, get them kids' book about money. Let them know. You can just say, maybe every month, I want to give you $2, $5. How will you treat this $5, right? Give them that budget. From that $5, okay, my income is $5. I'll put $3 in my need. Maybe I need to buy something. Thank you so much for the follow. Then my wants, then I need to aside that savings and investment is important, no matter how little it is, and it will grow up with them. And also teach them that it is easy to make money. It is easy to make money. When you teach them it is easy to make money, their brain is open to that. Their brain is open to that. They'll see opportunities in everything. They see opportunities in everything. Oh, how can I turn this into a business? Right? How can I turn this into a business? That is how you begin to train them. But when you don't teach them about money, you don't discuss money in your home, then those children would also grow up and complain. The same complaint we have, that nobody taught us about money. They will have that same complaint, that nobody taught them about money. So teach them, you make money. From the money you make, you work to make money. Money does not fall from the tree. From the money you make, you are going to keep some. If you are going to the store, you can take them alongside with you to the store. There are some days I just deliberately take my children to the store, so that when I buy the things and they want to start devouring it at home, they want to start eating it, they have it at the back of their mind that we cannot waste. We cannot waste. I deliberately take them to the store at times and just say, okay, let's go to the store today, so that they know, oh, so mommy, do you mean that just this few thing in this cart is almost $500, right? Just this few thing in this cart is $500, and they will now ask, so how long does it take to make $500? You tell them minimum wage is $15, right? You need to work so amount of hours for you to make this $500. Maybe you need to work 20 hours for you to make this $500. Remember, you pay taxes. That is you teaching them about money. Remember, you pay taxes of your 500, so that means you need to work extra hours for you to make this $500. And now we've come to the store to buy these things, and you're seeing that we have spent $500 in buying this thing. I tell you, when those children get home, they will not waste those food. They will not waste those food, because they now know, oh, so it takes, you mean my daddy goes to work for 20 days or for 5 days before they can make this $500, and this $500 is just what we are seeing in this cart. They will not waste those food. They will appreciate everything you give to them, because they now know that, oh, so it takes this hard for them to make money, right? It takes this long for you to make this money, and this is how you spend it. And also, as you're telling them that, you're also telling them that, do you know you pay taxes? You pay taxes. From your taxes, the government will take your money. This is what the government will take from you. You pay taxes on everything. You pay taxes. So as you are paying the government, be paying yourself too. Be paying yourself too, because the government does not want, before it even gets to your account, the government has taken their own. It doesn't concern them. If you eat, if you don't eat, the government has taken their own money, right? So tell them, so from this 500 that you've even made, you need to put something aside for them. I go ahead to show my children their investment account. Okay, this is what you have in your investment account now. If you want us, if you are crying, oh, mommy, we need to change all our clothes, do you want us to not do any investment and put all the money in clothes? Or if you want to spend $1,000 on clothing, okay, let's put $200 in investment and buy $800 clothes. That is how you teach your money. Let them be involved in the process. When you go to the store and you just bring everything, the children will say, oh, everything is here. They will finish it in one day. And that is children for you. You can't blame them. But when you make them understand the process, you go to the store, you tell them all these things we bought. They'll be the one to even check out. Oh, yeah, let's do the checking out together. Mommy, do you mean it's $500 to spend on all this? Yes, it's $500. How long does it take to make 500? You start telling them it takes this number of hours to make $500. But do you know that you still need to put something aside? And that is how you begin to groom them about money. About money. You talk about money with them. Don't make it a taboo that you don't talk about money in your own. Make it a discussion. Sit down, talk about money. You can even use maybe you're seeing elderly, the seniors in the store. They will ask you. So that the children are so curious. They will ask you, "Oh, mommy, this person is an elderly. Why is she still working?" You make them understand. If she's not volunteering, that means maybe the income she currently earns is not enough for her. That is why she has to come back to work at this age. So they will ask you, and you can now tell them, for you to avoid this, you need to start putting something aside. You need to start putting something aside. And by the time you tell these children all this, it's not too much for them. By the time you tell them all this, they will tell you, they will be the one to even be telling you. I told you that when I wanted to buy something, my son told me, "Mommy, do the 72-hour rule." Because he has heard me say it. He has heard me say it that, okay, there's a 72-hour rule where you delay your purchases for 72 hours. If you still need it, then you go ahead. He told me, do the 72-hour rule. If you still need it after 72 hours, mommy, buy it. And I said, after 24 hours, I just told myself, what, do I really need it? No, I don't. So that is how you teach your children money. Make them involved in that process. In the process of you going to buy groceries, it might not be every time. Maybe when you want to do your major grocery shopping, take them along. You can even tell them, write your list of what you want. Then when you buy, you now say, this thing that you bought, do you know that it's almost 200? Do you know that it's almost $200? And they'll be the one to now tell, mommy, do you want me to drop some? Do you think 200 is too much? And you make them involved in that process. Okay, so do we understand? Do we have questions? Do we have questions? Yes, do we have questions? I'm just enjoying the music in my background. I'm looking for, I think I still have some questions here, but I think I'll just take one more. Okay, so I think this one is a good one. It says, I hear people talk about financial freedom all the time, but I do not know what that means for me. What does financial freedom actually look like in numbers? Oh, what does financial freedom actually look like in numbers? But now I'm found. Our ways are stand on solid ground. What does financial freedom actually mean in numbers? That's what this person is asking. So, what is financial freedom? Financial freedom to everybody might be different, right? But my own school of thought is financial freedom is when you can comfortably pick all your bills, live the life you want, and still have extra. And underline the word extra, still have extra. You can comfortably pick all your bills, live the life you want. Like, I want to travel the world. I can comfortably travel the world. I don't need to look at my balance to travel the world. And I still have extra. Then that is financial freedom. So it depends on what the number is to you. Some people, their financial freedom might just be $500,000. That is their financial freedom, right? They will pick their bills, they will live the life they want, and still have extra. Some their financial freedom is 20 million, right? That is their financial, that's their own numbers, but just the definition of financial freedom. You live the life you want. I know you comfortably pick all your bills, live the life you want, and you have extra. You're not bothered. You don't have to look at your bank account before you swipe your card in the bank or in the store. Then that becomes financial freedom. You're able to give back to your society comfortably without looking at your bank account, because giving back as well is an act of being wealthy. It doesn't matter if it's just $1, but that you have the mind to give back even when you're not earning that much. It's a heart of somebody that is rich, that has a rich mindset. People with a poor mindset, they will never give back to the society. Even though if they are so wealthy, that is how you know if they have a poor mindset. They will never give back to the society. But for somebody with a rich mindset, they want to give back to the society. So if you're able to do that, then just calculate the number. What the number means to you is different from what financial freedom means to me in numbers. But definition-wise is the same. You're able to comfortably pick your bills. You're able to comfortably pick your bill, live the life you want. You have extra. You give back to the society. Then we can say, I'm now financially free. I'm in the era of financial freedom. Okay. Let me take this last question because I think this one is a good one too. It says, I have big money goals, but sometimes I feel overwhelmed and behind. How do I set realistic goals without burning out? How do I set realistic goals without burning out? How do I set realistic goals without burning out? That's what this person is asking. So how do you set goals without burning out? Is you breaking your goals to the tiniest bits. Tiniest bits. Like the smallest bit. Break your goal to that tiniest bit. So let's say I have a goal this year to save $1,000, right? I have a goal to save $1,000 this year. That's my goal. If I say I want to save $1,000, it becomes overwhelming. It becomes scary, especially if I've not done it before. I want to save $1,000. It becomes overwhelming. It becomes scary. You begin to think it's not achievable, right? It's not achievable. But now, how do you break it down to the tiniest bit? $1,000 for 2026. That means $1,000 in 12 months, right? Now, that means every month I need a minimum, let me just say $100 per month, because that's what I can calculate in my brain. $100 a month, right? For me to be able to achieve my $1,000 at the end of the year. $100 a month might still be big. If you've not done it before, it will still be big. Now, how many weeks do we have in a month? We have 4 weeks in a month. So I need $100 in a month, right? Divided by 4 weeks. That means I need $25 every week. To some people, $25 might still be big. $25 might still be big every week. Yeah? Do you mean I'll be putting aside $25 every week? Now, break it down to days. How many days do I have in a week? 7 days. 25 divided by 7. 25 divided by 7, that's less than $4. So let's say less than $4 every day. You can see it's easy for the mind to conceive. It's easy for the mind to conceive because you now you've broken it down to the tiniest, like the smallest part. So I mean, oh, your mind will say, so you only need $4 every day. Oh, that's a cup of coffee now. And you, by the end of the year, you will achieve your goal. Because your mind can now conceive it. But when you put that overwhelming goal, your mind will not be able to conceive it. And it's easy for you to do what? It's easy for you to lose track. And because you're scared, you will not be able to achieve that goal. But when you break it down, and it's not only in finance, it's everything in life. I want to read, okay, let's say I want to read this book. This book, I want to read it in, okay, I tell myself I want to read, every month I want to read one book, right? Every month I want to read one book. If you carry the book, I want to read one book every month. You see that it's so difficult, especially if you've not done it before, right? But you can tell yourself, the book has, let me use 30 pages for instance. Let me use 90 pages. The book has 90 pages and I want to read it in a month. 30 days is in a month. So 30 divided by 90, that's three pages a day, right? 3 pages a day. When I say I want to read one book every month, it becomes so big if I've not done it before, right? becomes so big and I will not be able to achieve it. Becomes overwhelming. But when I tell myself, okay, 30 days, it has 90 pages, 30 days in a month, that means I just need 3 pages per day. 3 pages per day, I will read that book in 1 month. I'll still achieve my goal, but just have broken it down to the tiniest bits. I can even go further to say 3 pages a day, right? I can now say maybe in the morning, I'll take 1 page. In the afternoon, I'll take 1 page. In the night, I'll take 1 page. I'll still accomplish my goal, 3 pages a day, morning, afternoon, night. I'll take 1 page morning, take 1 page afternoon, take 1 page evening. I can say before I get up from my bed, I'll read 1 page. During my lunchtime, I'll read 1 page. Before I go to bed at night, I'll read another page. That means I'll read 3 pages a day. By the time the 30th day, I would have read 90 pages, which means I would have achieved my goal of reading 1 book in a month. That is how you break your goal. If you set the goal, it's going to be, if you set it, oh, this is what I want to achieve, it becomes overwhelming and it becomes scary, especially if you've not done it before. But the best thing is break it down to the tiniest bit, to the lowest factor. Break it to the lowest factor where you can no longer break it again. Then you'll be able to achieve the goal. Yes, so do we have questions? I think we've used 90 minutes on this live today. You guys did not need to like my life today. What happened? Okay, so do we have questions? We've talked about money generally. I think we talked about mindset, and we talked a bit about investing as well. We talked about you putting your children, teaching them about money as they grow up, so they don't have the same story that most people have right now. Nobody taught us about money. Because the truth is, if you think that you're going to start teaching it in school, well, I don't know. Because the wealthy will never want you to understand that you can be wealthy as well, right? So that's basically what we've talked about today. Thank you so much for the At Me Ilukumade. Thank you. So do we have questions before we call it a night today? So if you've not followed me, please do follow me so you know when I'm out. I'm always out in the evenings like this, and you get a notification when I'm out. My baby is to talk about investing. I teach investing. I teach you how to invest in the stock market as a beginner, what you need to do, what to look out for, how to build your first portfolio in the stock market. If you're interested, you can join my community where I teach. The link is in my bio. We're going to be having a masterclass next Saturday, and the class is filling up fast. So you might want to grab your seat in that class. Next Saturday, February 21, we're going to be having investing class, right? Where you learn how to start investing with any amount you have. You don't need that millions, you don't need that thousand, just start with any amount you have. And also, that's my baby, stock market. I also teach you how to make money. Most times, my how to make money will be on my Life This Way. I teach about how to make money, how to manage your money as well. So weekends like this, I love to teach about how to make money because we need to make money to be able to invest in the stock market, right? So I love to teach about how to make money. So either tomorrow or Saturday, we're going to be looking at how to make money, maybe through drop shipping, through digital business. It all depends. It might be print on demand, depending on what's as the spirit leads. It's as the spirit leads. I'm not sure what I'm going to be teaching yet, but I know we're going to be looking at how to make money. So thank you so much for coming on this live today. If you have not followed me, please do follow me so you can know when I'm live. And since I'm not seeing any questions come in, I want to believe we are all good this evening. I'll be ending the live now. And like I said, if you want to join our community, just click the link in my bio and you'll be able to join the community. It's a one-time payment. So once you learn in the class, after then, you don't have payments to make again, but you have access to the community where you can always ask your question. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. I'm going to end the live now. I'll see you again tomorrow by God's grace. And make sure you're intentional about 2026. Do something new about 2026. You can't keep living the same way and expect things to change. You need to be the change that you want, right? Be the change that you want in your finances, in your relationship, in anything, in your work with God. Be that change. Want to become better, want to be a better version of yourself, right? Want to be a better version of yourself. I'll see you guys tomorrow and remain blessed and God bless you. Enjoy your evening.